Hello, I'm Greg Smith. I'm from Morrison Low and I'm here today to talk about how council rates work. This is the first of three independent financial information sessions. The second one is about council's current financial position, where they are, what they have done and what they're planning to do in the future. And we're going to talk about what a special rate variation is. Morrison Low is a local government specialist consulting group. We've been in operation since 2000 and we specialise in all things local government. We provide strategic advice and solutions that councils can action on. So council's rates, firstly we're going to explain how rates work. We're going to then talk about the unimproved land value. That's the basis upon which rates are levied and calculated. We're going to talk about and explain the rate peg, how that works and how that's capped, and then quickly touch on special rate variations. So council's rates are a tax. They are compulsory payments and they're made by individuals and businesses in the community to local governments across New South Wales or across Australia. Council rates in New South Wales are levied or charged on the unimproved land value of your land. And that value is determined by the Valuer General generally every 3 years. As a result of ratepayers paying rates, members then derive a benefit from council in the form of services and use of facilities and assets. So the unimproved land value is the land only component. If you've got a building or other improvements on the land, they're excluded from the valuation undertaken by the New South Wales Valuer General. Based on that land value, the rates are then calculated for each individual land allotment in the local government area. For Glen Innes, the total land value is around $2.4 billion and the total rates income is around $8.1 million. Now there's a bit of a myth that says if we increase the land value, so they go up by 10% as a percentage to 2.6 billion, the rates income doesn't go up directly as a result of the increase in land values. The only way that the rates income goes up is an increase in the rate peg amount or a special rate variation, which we'll touch on later. And even though individually your land goes up, not all rates will increase. If your land, in this example, goes up by more than 10%, then you'll get an increase in rates. But if your land value goes up less than 10%, you will actually get a decrease in your rates bill. So how does the rate peg actually work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. At the moment for 24-25, there's $8.1 million in rates income. There's a 4% rate peg, which is set by IPART, which I'll talk about in a moment. So the increase in the rate for 25-26 is around $500,000. You can see the graph off to the right, the increase in the rate pegs over the last 5 years. They've been pretty low except for 23-24 when we're in that inflationary period. As I said, IPART, the Independent Pricing and Regulatory Tribunal, they set the rate peg, and we'll just talk about how they do that in a moment, and they also determine any special rate variation. As you can see on that chart off to the right, there's a number of components that make up the rate peg. The first component is the base cost charge, which is the general increase in cost of doing business, if you like, and at 3.6%, that applies to all councils in New South Wales. Then we have the emergency service levy. Depending on what's happening to each levy within each council, that may go up or down. There's an allowance then for local government elections, and then finally there's a allowance for population growth, and that will depend on each council area. So there you can see that the total rate peg increase ranges for 25-26, this is somewhere between 3.7% and 7.6%. And for Glen Innes Severn Council, it is 4.4%. The implications of the rate peg are a challenge for all councils in New South Wales in terms of maintaining financial sustainability. As you can see, the red line, the CPI, is largely higher than the rate increase, the dark green line. So there's always this gap between income raised and the cost of providing services, and generally the costs are greater than the income, and as a result of that, council has now considered or is considering a special rate variation, and that's accumulated over a number of years. So if you're looking for more information, go to council's website, Shaping Tomorrow. There's information there on this and all the other information around the special rate variations. There's also the Valuer General website and the IPARC website. Thank you.